Okay. New stream. Yikes. The internet can now totally see. Thanks, YouTube. Yeah. Thanks for that. Thanks for dropping the live stream. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Now I'm going to have to download 2 separate files. Cool. Excellent. I swear to God. Morning. It should be the same URL. Maybe you'll have to put in another one. Maybe. Yeah, this is a new stream technically. I don't know how this is going to work out. Everything's the same though, so. Oh well. Push on. Cheerio. Oh God, I can't even see chat now. Chat's gone. Okay, there we go. Keep on swimming. Keep on swimming. Okay, I've done this one. Did I finish coding this one? No, I didn't. I was making Oryx, Crota, Savathun, Zypher Arath, and Nokris. Okay. Crota, Oryx, Savathun, Zypher Arath. Where's Nokris? Did I not just make a Nokris? Thought I made a Nokris. Fine. YouTube on the other end of the phone won't let me finish this chapter. God damn it. Okay. World's Grave locations. They got some secret from the World's Grave. Okay. And I think we've already coded these guys. They want a new dinner. Oh, Sword Logic. We need to put Sword Logic in there. Sword Logic is under Forces. Sword Logic. Boom. Okay, that's that one down. Done. Moving on to number 5. From Inquisition of the Damned, entry number 5, an audience with slaughter. As below, in this circle, in the pit at the bottom of damnation's well, a gathering of brutalists vies for a seat upon an eternal throne. 1,000 warriors of dust and ruin clamour for the ritual beginning to another slaughter, as above. Would-be puppet masters watch with keen eyes from the crimson towers that hang from the jagged walls of the necropolis, hallowed and hollowed ground. They of cunning thought and grand design, who lack brute strength to take sword logic's gift by force. They who consider themselves the shadowed architects of empires, they who build their legacy upon the trade of secrets, the gossip of ages, and the sowing of lies, words their weapons, cutting as of any blade. Among the murmuring laws of wicked tongues, tainted royalty glides to the fore. Sisters of the anti-mercy, sisters of doom, the daughters of Crota, daughters of the world breaker. The offspring of destruction, direct heirs to their abandoned throne, yet removed from the pit's calling. The same privileged manipulators whose existence Malkanth and her siblings wish to challenge, wish to destroy. Malkanth wants to fight Crota's daughters. What was Crota's daughter's name? Hashladoon. Is that Hashladoon? Hashladoon. The daughters have come to judge those who dare fight for claim. They seek a warrior fit to raise the celestial heavens that mar the Ebon expanse. Surely one must walk amongst the countless descendants of their father's father. Besurith whispers her doubts, second by Voshire. Kinnox remains silent, contemplating their station in the depths from which they must ascend if the swarm is ever to reclaim its own destiny. Who are all these characters? Hashladoon. Hashladoon the eldest, the inundated narrows her glare, her sisters fall silent. The slaughter is set to begin. Are these all the daughters of Crota? Besurith, Vosher, Kinnox, and Hashladoon? Yeah, I saw Crothion, yeah. Pretty funny. Hashladoon. I think. Crota's daughters. Hashladoon. Kinnox. Besurith. Yes, okay, they're all four of the Crotas. Beautiful. Thank you. They are the daughters of Crota. Crota. Okay. So we put that in Crota's daughters. Dunk. 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 Probably should put it on Crota too. And this is, who is this speaking? Is this the Malkanth? Malkanth, who wants to challenge. Okay. Beautiful, that's that one down. Oh, we're flying through. We're on number 6. Hey, what's up, Aiden? Number 6. Ritualistic Circle Pit. Since the great Osmian King's end, countless champions have been scattered to the winds in search of the sword logic's promised rewards. Immeasurable pain, immeasurable suffering, such that this deep, far below broken lunar surface, where no light has ever blasphemed, the rugged cavern walls is said to host the afterbirth of ceaseless torment. Here, spectral shadows haunt the passageways through the dark, each skittering shape the mindless, ethereal prison of a greater being cast low. Also, prophecy dictates. Those marked as unworthy shall ever be lost in the depths of their own ambition, trapped between in such form as ambition first took hold. 11th Truth, Book of Damnation. Okay. Still at the risk of final death or hateful damnation, the hordes gather, intent on the destruction of all who stand in defiance of their individual ambitions. Among them, proud Zulmak flexes dried sinew beneath a heavy calcified growth of his outer shell, armor earned in battle through pain. Zolmak has now stood twice after all others have fallen. He has gained allies and enemies from his victories, both in the circle and beyond. After his second triumph, other battles followed beyond the view of the rabid throng. First, an acolyte took aim from the shadows, a coward sent by an unnamed admirers to Zolmak's march toward godhood. The weak thing's spine shattered beneath Zolmak's heel. Then later, the thrall, a wave of mindless nothings with chittering jaw and razored talon, another gift from secret conspirators. Their dust now hangs in pouches at Zolmak's waist, a delicacy to be enjoyed in the quiet once the echoes of his victims in the pit have faded and the roars of celebration have hushed. Zolmak casts his gaze across the horde lined at the circle's edge, hundreds deep, all keen to shadow their brothers and sisters, all keen to stand triumph, as Zolmak has. He feels their eyes set upon him. He is a target now, a known champion. Many will come for him, they will swarm, and they will meet their end at Zolmak's hand. The ire rises, the energy of the pit is thick, warm, angry. There is no ceremony to mark the opening of the slaughter. Those who dare join the fray simply gather until the tension reaches its breaking point. Then the first sword will rise and fall, and the ground will begin to cake with a thickening mix of dust and blood, as above. On high, Hashladun watches as the first sword falls and the severing begins. Oh my god. Rated T for teen. Hey, what's up, Grant? Good to see you, mate. Might have actually helped me with YouTube shutting down and restarting, because people who normally wouldn't tune in are getting a second notification. Got them. What is this pit about? Just killing each other. Is that all that's happening? I don't understand. Hashladun. 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 Sword Logic. Zolmak. New character. Big boy. Osmian King. Did I do that? Osmian King. Should I put Book of Damnation? And what do I put it under? 11th Truth. Book of Damnation. It's like Hive Holy Text, I guess. What would you call that? Hive Holy Text. It's not really a character, but I'm just going to put it under the Hive. I'm going to put holy text. Holy text. I'm going to put Book of Damnation. We'll find a spot for it later. Oh yeah, it's referencing the Scarlet Keep, isn't it? We should put that in location. Just spot on about that. Scarlet Keep. Okay. Good one. Okay. Hey, William. Welcome, mate. Okay. Inquisition of the Dam, number 7. Bloodsport. Ooh, strap in. It's going to get violent. Okay. As below, Zolmak knows they will come for him. Zolmak is ready. The weight of his blade feels light in his grip, an extension of his will. His cleaver cuts with little effort, slicing freely through the fragile bone of some fool with grand designs beyond his station. An acolyte whose meat and marrow splits cleanly, the dust of his being a cloud of thick grey as his body shatters and drops. Jesus Christ. Just as quickly, more blades are on Zolmak. He takes cut but never staggers. He grabs a charging knight by the neck, sliding the point of his blade through his attacker's throat, then up and out through the shoulder. The green of the brawler's eyes flickers and is gone. His body no longer a vessel. Zolmak tightens his grasp around the dead thing's neck and swings high, lifting the carcass as if it were a shield to block another blow. His grip closes like a vice and the dead knight's body hits the ground. He still holds the spine tight, the once living head now a weapon. Wow. He still holds the spine tight. Oh yeah. A bone meets bone as Zolmak's necrotic bludgeon collides with the skull of an attacker. Two heads splinter. Another enemy falls. A blade enters Zolmak's back, slipping past his spine, catching in his ribs. Hey, what's up, Cajun? As above, Hashladun is disappointed. She has grown tired of the facade of the slaughter. None are worthy of the sword logic. Zolmak may be impressive, but he's no Crota, he's no Oryx, and he will fall. Besurith whispers, and the sisters turn to leave. The congregation in high all follow, their crimson temples emptied, leaving none to witness the assured disappointment in the pit below. Zolmak literally Mortal Kombat someone pulling out their neck and spine and then swung it around. Oh my god, that's crazy. Ashladun and the other sister, Besurith, and we also got Sword Logic. The Sword Logic. Okay. Welcome to the Thunderdome. Chapter 8. Whew. We're over halfway. GG's, we're over halfway of this book. We might make it. From the Inquisition of the Damned, a sinister plot, Chapter 8. Across the pit, three siblings watch from the shadows. Malcanth smiles. Hashladun and her siblings have taken their leave, their disgust evident. They too have found cause to doubt the logic. The politics of self-appointed puppet masters will distract from continuing the ritual. But in their dismissal, the high-seated neglect a simple, powerful fact. The Horde will not forsake tradition so easily. They are born of it, bred within the comfort of its certainty. The pampered elite have forgotten the power of belief. The sword logic is all to the full masses. The sword logic is all to fool the masses. The sword logic is all to the full masses. The truth will be the seed from which Malcanth grows her subversion. For even as the cowards above turn their back on the pit, a boon is granted to sinister Malcanth's grand aspirations. Her smile widens. Zolmak is our instrument of destruction. He is that which will shatter the logic. He is that which will break the cycle and prove the lie of the court and its king. They who led us to ruin here in this dead system on this dead orb. He is brave and fearsome, and there exists a time when he will have been great, sure to join the pantheons upon which future generations will build their legends. But for the swarm to see its future stretch beyond eternity, he will ever be a catalyst for all to come, and nothing more. Are you ready, sister? I am ever and truly. Let my sacrifice carve our path. Let my unmaking be our salvation. And brother, to be reborn is a gift, one I cannot repay. In return, I offer only vengeance, dear sister, and for your sacrifice, a place in infinite graveyard, built where stars once dared to shine. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby, I love the way. Cool. Mutiny. Hashladoon. The other leader, Malkanth. I feel like I need to put them in their own brothers and sisters tribe. Sword Logic. Gunk. And Zolmak. What would we call them though? We don't have a name for them yet. Hey Michael. Chapter 9, Bloodsport from the Law Book. Inquisition of the Damned. The congregation has departed. Zolmak, impaled by a lesser blade, has failed. The congregation is foolhardy. Zolmak spins, lodged in his flesh. The blade snaps. Its wielder now weaponless, but for an edgeless grip. Zolmak crushes the assailant with a single mighty blow, but the damage is done. The horde piles on, weighing him down, cutting, slicing. The would-be champion is swallowed by the mass. Across the pit, the attention of the combatants shifts. They turn on each other. There is no more champion, so a new champion must claim victory. The sword logic demands it. Beneath the mound of writhing bone and claw, those who rushed Zolmak poke and prod, killing all beneath their weight. Then movement. A terrible scream. The heap quakes and pulses. Then a powerful thrust. Bodies fly, and an angry shape stomps forth. Zolmak, impaled a dozen times, perhaps more, decorated in blade and hilt, roars. All eyes fall upon him. He slumps, breathes heavily, then stands. The heap continues to writhe. Zolmak climbs its uneven slope, crushing the weak underfoot. Reaching the bony peak of bodies living and dead, the wounded champion issues a challenge, a gut-born, ragged battle cry. Zolmak the impaled, Zolmak the unfelled, Zolmak the destroyer. The horde charges, clamoring to reach him high above the pile, and when they do, they offer themselves one after another to his devastating embrace, sacrificing themselves to the champion, to the logic. They are not worthy, but maybe Zolmak is. And this is the imagery that I got from that. Standing on a pile of bodies. Just reminds me of Doom. Just destroying fools. What a bad... I got to get Gamma Trap to draw that. Zolmak the impaled. He's just got knives sticking out of him. Just absolutely squashing everybody. Absolutely squashing everyone. He didn't go flawless. From the Law Book, Inquisition of the Damned. Chapter 10. The Severed and the Unmade. Akrazul's Lament. I am a lesser of being and mind, sister. Your unmaking shall see me whole. My stolen limb, lost to the Lightborn in defense of our taken king's futile reign, has made me a pariah. Okay, Oryx. The dishonor of my failings has cast upon us an unwavering shame that spreads like disease, tainting not only my broken self, but you and dearest Malkanth alike. I'm a plague, I am withering disregard. Yet here, in your selfless gift, I find new purpose. In your flesh and bone, I will find myself once again. In that discovery, I will forever remember you, as you will be my vessel on this physical plane. I'll be the vessel for your essence. The very core of your will shall live on in me, eternal. Azarath's pride. Azavath's pride. Your words are a joy, brother. The last I shall have, but know that such pleasures are insignificant when judged against my hatred, my anger. I chose my unmaking only because I know the power of your rage, tamed since your severing, but seething below the surface of your charcoal heart. I give freely of myself, as did the lesser of the pit, when they offered themselves as waves to be broken against the jagged shore of Zalmak's blade. I do so because I see clearly the path we etch, its purpose born of heresy, but pure like your rage. My sole regret is that I will not see your fury manifest, that I will not feel these hands inflict such punishment upon the unworthy, upon existence. You will make a grand monarch, brother. Through me, in my name writ across the expanse, Azavath, the suffer queen of an ever-rising swarm. In my husk, the armored vessel of the one I love, my sweet, vengeful Akarazul, my broken prince, no more. I don't know what this means. I don't know what it means. But what does it mean, Basil? I don't know what this means. Okay. Inquisition of the Damned. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 more entries and this book is done. Oh, Lord. Akrazul rests motionless on the altar. Such wicked craft as the Inquisition of self is a science beyond his understanding, stolen by his sister from forbidden lessons in ancient, prohibited texts. Few have earned knowledge required to navigate the dissection of a living essence. Few still can exercise the layers of such self that the vessel remains a viable cage for another's being. Malkanth, the deceiver, has spent a lifetime educating himself in the ways of illicit knowledge, ever curious to explore the cracks between understandings, in the dark recesses of imagination where impossibilities dwell. She has assured her brother that his torment will be swift compared to their sisters. Akrazul finds little comfort in her words and braces for the screams to come, knowing the only way forward rests on the other side of his beloved Azavath's unmaking. The siblings share a silence. To most, their coming sins would be treason worthy of erasure, but there is no turning back. I'm just going to finish this one. Law reading Danny didn't come in. Malkanth turns to her brother, knowing he's noble and brave, knowing he'll be tempted to intervene once Azavath's cries echo through the vaulted hallows of the bandit's cathedral, where they hide themselves from prying eyes. Akrazul says nothing. Still, Malkanth holds a finger to her cracked lips, shakes her head slowly. Akrazul looks to his right arm, severed mid-bicep, the nub a rough calcified mass, then back at Malkanth before closing his eyes. Malkanth smiles as her brother rests calmly, ready to play his part. She turns to Azavath, pinned to her altar with thick bolts through her wrists and ankles. The pain will be such that she will struggle, fight against the intrusion as a mind and essence afraid and a body hollowed of life, that it may serve another. Azavath thinks of her brother and the hells he will unleash once whole. A whisper catches her ear as she closes her eyes. She listens to faint words of praise as Malkanth delivers the first cut. This is freaking brutal, man. What the hell? What the hell? Malkanth. Azavath. Akrazul. Jesus. Yeah, I believe you do lose progress, Taylor, if you leave the raid and don't finish the puzzle. Alright, let's quickly chat to Danny. Hey, Danny. Where are you?
Just gave Billy so many pats.
You gave Billy lots of pats.
Yeah.
She went crazy at the Uber Eats guy.
I see that.
Chat made me do it.
Chat made you do it, didn't
Chat
it?
made me have Uber Eats.
I don't believe you.
Chat made me do it.
They did not make you get Uber Eats. You decided to get Uber Eats and eat the lasagna.
Yeah, it's been good.
Oh, Bill's here.
We almost finished this book. We got another 4 entries, and then I don't know how long it will take to download and re-upload. So I just need to leave enough time so we can
Do that.
go, yeah, and pack my bags and all that kind of stuff.
And take Billy to your mum and dad's.
Yep. There, it's Balin.
Callum's been around a while then. Hey, Soul Reaver.
Hello.
Bill.
Don't look at me.
Papa. That's a papa.
Yeah, it's a bupper. People can't see her because she's too low down.
Bill, you need to come back and let me pick you up. Back it up, ready? It's a Bill.
Oh, that's a pupper.
That's a papa.
She's so black on
I know,
camera.
you can't really see
You
her.
can't see her.
You're too black, Bill. Thank you.
Show us the doge.
Give me the dash. No, Bill. Okay.
You want to close that door?
Yeah. I'm going to keep getting ready. Come on, we're getting out of that room.
Coffee, if you make one.
Oh, I guess I can.
Look how many coffee cups I got in here. I'm a mess, Stanley.
You are a mess.
I'm a mess.
Absolute mess.
The papa got my feels. She's beautiful. Okay, let's do it. 4 more. We can do it. We can do it. Put your back and do it. I can do it. Put your ass and do it. The Unmaking from the Inquisition of the Damned. Sing, O sister of death and its many gifts. From the first there has been war, wars of the self, wars of conquest, wars of desperation, wars of greed. From war, death, from death an end, from endings, beginnings. One such is now sung in the key of pain, Azavath's truth, the all of her, torn free with a surgeon's grace. Malkanth's ears bleed as her sister's unmaking reveals her being. In the echoes of Azavath's screams, ancient histories reveal themselves. Song of Life. The song was not always a corruption. It began as a gift stolen from the gardener. What is this about? Shit. In efforts to understand the unknowable realities of the orb's incredible gifts, a signal was found, a repeating tune, the song of creation. Its frequencies were heard across the stars. Wherever life's promise took hold, some among the Ammonites worshipped it. Some among the hive did the same. So others sought to understand it, that they might cage it, that they might control it. For to control life is to control death. Such ambition was not new. Such ambition was old as understanding. The melody was captured and studied, the frequencies replicated. But why the gardener? Are they talking about the traveller as a gardener or the Vex as a gardener? Because both are referred to as gardeners. I think it must be the traveller to create life, right? But the orbs, because it says orbs, the orb's mystery was not so easily brought to light. The song, for all its beauty, did not alone grant life. It was theorized the song was not a song at all, but many, that within its refrain untold rhymes spoke their own truths, free and clear of the whole. Centuries passed, the song remained untamed. Life moved on. Yeah, you can do this without copyright, Jason, for sure. Song of Death. The choir formed in celebration of the song. Performances mark the passage of seasons. But the song's light eventually began to corrupt the spirit of those who heard its tune. The melody was a reminder. The orb was a catalyst, and the song was of the orb. Yet those who embraced the song were merely instruments, nothing more. Life remained beyond their grasp, while they remained ever in deaths. Those of the choir had given all of themselves. All was not enough. The first conductor was assassinated by one who sang an aria of her own making. She whose name has been stricken had found notes hidden in the frequencies, reversed and mirrored in pitch. She weaved them together and sang her beautiful abomination, until the conductor wept and bled and screamed and fell. The stricken fled, fearful of her crime, but others found promise anew in her art. The stricken was captured and subjected to inquisition, so that her song might be understood. This was before understandings, before most things, when the first notes of a new song were written. The death song. The death song. Okay, so we got all the sisters again. Not the Oryx sisters, but the other sisters. Malkanth, Azavath, and Akrazol. We've got the death song, which I think just needs to go under... Look, I'm just putting everything in Hive at the moment until I find a better spot for them. The death song. This is a creation story for the death song. The death song. And I do think that this is a reference to the Traveller too, that they did the opposite of the Traveller to make the death song. And the Ammonites are also mentioned. Put them under a new race, I think. Ammonites. Okay. Hey, Sour, how are you, mate? Entry number 13. Inquisition of the Damned, the Unmaking. In these notes, beautiful oblivion. The war had raged for centuries, one of many, just another, as irrelevant as the next. The stories of the choir and their death song were thought to be nothing more than folklore, wholly untrue at best, vastly exaggerated at worst. They were demons who'd sought life's gift only to corrupt its beauty. The homeworld of a species no longer on record, erased from the world's grave. And thus from memory, as punishment for their transgressions, had kept itself safely removed from the battles being waged on the far side of their system. The location was safeguarded to protect the homeworld from the hive's wrath. Its orbit was defended by an array of advanced offensive mechanics, cannons, mobile suits, mines, gravity slings, and more. They were protected. They were safe. They never noticed the small crafts slip through their defenses, 20 in total, landing in sequence at set coordinates along the planet's equator. 4 trillion souls were about their days and nights as an unknown melody caught the breeze. It was beautiful, an ethereal gift and the end of all things. The choir sang. Only 20 strong, and their voices grew in volume. The people started to scream. The planet's crust shifted and cracked. The seas roiled and spilled out over the land. The core shook. The ground shattered. Defenses scrambled. It was too late. Less than an hour after the song began, the hidden homeworld of forgotten people split in twain. These are the song's powers, its gifts, anti-life and oblivion. What was this homeworld? No longer recall in the world's grave. Oh, welcome, Jason. Rebirth. Malkanth braces as the pain of her sister's screams threatens to turn her mind to liquid. But she's strong and almost finished. Azavath's being tied intimately to her purpose, to learn the song, perfect her notes, write her own aria, and become death. And that she held so tightly to legends of the song's true power surprised Malkanth. Even Iayut, one of Crota's most cherished, had long since given up on rebuilding the choir. I need to put the choir back in. Yet Azavath was driven by this desire. Malkanth feels pride well up. Her sister, like herself, like their brother, all lesser in the eyes of those pure bone, still nurtured ambitions beyond the festering cowardice of those who chose politics over action. The sword logic had failed them, and they would not fail the swarm. Malkanth makes her final cut. Azavath's roar shreds her throat and she falls silent, her body convulsing against the bolts, then becoming motionless. For an instant, Malkanth holds her sister's essence. She wishes to say farewell, but just as quickly the wisp that was her sister's spark and blinks out. Malkanth recoils. Akrazul jumps from his altar, lunging at Malkanth. Unflinching, Malkanth makes a single cut, deep, clean, tearing her brother's essence free from his physical self. Akrazul's body crumples to the ground. His soul is bigger and stronger than his sister's, angrier, meaner. For an instant, Malkanth worries Azavath's vessel will be unfit to contain their brother's rage. She shoves the severed knight's essence into Azavath's empty shell. Their sin is complete. Now come the consequences. Oh my god, what is happening? She's like transferring souls over. What is happening? Okay. Akrazul, Azavath, Malkanth. They're doing some sort of ritual transferring. Which soul went to which? Azavath received Akrazul's soul. Okay. And before that we have the Death Singer song. We have this entire civilization just wiped by just singing. And Oh yeah, we have Iayut. Iayut. Iayut, the Death Singer. Iayut. Iayut. And we also have what's known as the choir. These like singers. Singers of the death song. Crikey. Alright, we're on the home stretch now. 2 more entries left. Hey, thank you, Toro Prime. Entry 14 from the Inquisition of the Damned. Faith in Bone. All have gathered. All have gathered. The pit is set for another slaughter. Zolmak the Unwavering has stood now for a 3rd time. Soon there will be none left to challenge him. Soon even the mighty who remain will defer to his sword, his power. The congregation in their towers look down with great anticipation. Their whispers ever more confident regarding the long-awaited end to the swarm's search. A leader will rise, a new prince to be shaped into a king. Among the plotting throng, Hashladoon and her sisters remained silent. They'd hoped for one to prove their worth and stake their claim, but the long, violent road to Zalmak's rise has seeded doubt. The daughters hold little confidence in the pit's ability to provide a victor truly born of the sword logic. Zolmak has been impressive, but a king? Surely not. For whom he has faced, what competition had the swarm mustered? The aftermath of their father's murder and their grandfather's war has left them bereft of warriors of a caliber befitting royalty. The light has seen it so. The hated guardians came and inflicted their will upon the hive, on the moon, and across the system. Now all that remains are scraps of a broken legacy. To Hashladoon's mind, the pit has proven a failure, regardless of Zolmak's triumph. Further, the daughters hold a secret belief that their forebearers have yet to fail the logic's call. Crota and Oryx were both defeated. Yes, but not for the first time. And the daughters still have faith that the King of Bone, the Taker of Will, the one and true King of Shapes, would never fall as far as to be lost in eternity. Oryx is coming back. If nothing else, the terror of their deeds, the memory of their conquest lives on, like nightmares that may be awakened for the weak to truly know fear. In that faith, the daughters have made plans of their own, schemes to rekindle the greatness of their lineage, strategies born beyond the pit. Okay. Stupid printer.
Stupid printer.
That's deep beneath.
Sorry, did I interrupt you when you were talking? It's only going to be loud and annoying for like 5 minutes while it tries to print something really big. Here comes all the terms and conditions.
Hey, what's up, Mark? How are you, mate? Hey, Cremoy. I hope I didn't lose all my previous reading. That would suck. We'll find out when we stop. Okay, where were we up to? I think I'm here, I don't know. In that faith, the daughters have made plans of their own, schemes to rekindle the greatness of their lineage, strategies born beyond the pit. Thus, deep beneath the hellmouth, their heirs probe strange new possibilities from ancient discovery. Possibilities that will forego the pit to carve new paths and new understandings through which the logic may yet prove their grandfather's authority. However, those who would see their family unseated, those among whom they now stand, would mark that research as an affront. The logic is a logic, they would say. It is known and it is good, but they lack imagination. The logic is not simply brute force. It is cunning and guile. It is survival. It is a victory born of all that makes a king mighty. In the pit, Zalmak unleashes a battle cry. He is ready to be done with it all. He is ready to claim his crown. Hashadun considers him with disgust. He'll never be a king, only ever a tool, blunt and brutal. Should he be anointed as a champion of the pit, should he be crowned, the daughters' plots will be threatened before they ever truly begin. Okay. Faith in Bone. This is about Oryx. It's about Crota. It is about Zolmak. Zolmak's a massive beast. It's about Hashladoon, Crota's daughters, hatching a plan. It's about the sword logic. Okay. Final one. Final one. Inquisition of the Damned. The anti-logic. Yeah, we'll get to it, man. As you can see, there's a volume of stuff, dude. There's a volume of things to do. So we just need to get through these law books first, and then we can get into all the other stuff as well. The anti-logic. Final chapter, Inquisition of the Damned. As above. The Butcher Queen of the Slaughter Pits rises to the first balcony, chest heaving and eyes thin with focus, baptized in a clinging muck of bone and dust, clotted thick with gore. The congregation is unsure what to make of the display. Fear grips the craven court of the necropolis. All recognize Azavath, but she is no fighter, and her song, though deadly, is far from the perfected pitch of others among the broken choir. In each hand, Azavath grips heavy cleavers, each weighted down by chunks of their victims. Below, 1,000 corpses rest in pieces. Jesus. Brave Zulmak, he who came so very close to proving the logic, is spread wide, limbs removed, a cavity where his heart once beat. The congregation asks Azavath to explain herself. She is no warrior, yet she fights like a conqueror. She has sought no claim, yet she has butchered a champion. The logic was almost met. What gives her the right to? The wicked scholar admonishing the singer is. You can do it, brain. The wicked scholar admonishing the singer is split in two as one of Azavath's cleavers moves through him as if he were air. The congregation panics as Azavath's rage is unleashed upon them. They are not fighters. They are plotters and manipulators and cowards. They are everything Akrazul hates. His new flesh, his new bone allows him to manifest a hatred with swift, ruthless aggression. He thanks his sister and knows she would be proud of the blood he now sheds. She gave of herself that he might once again fight for all they believed in. On this high perch above the gore-filled pit, as the would-be advisors to a non-existent king flail and fall, he kills for her, in her as her. Tower after tower, coward after coward, the bodies of the truly unworthy litter their blood temples. Screams echo through the expanse. Akrazul and Azavath are one, and in that joining, he's no longer the same. Akrazul no more, only his anger remains. He considers that the slaughter of the puppet masters was not part of Malkanth's plan. She would be upset, but she no longer matters. Only vengeance matters. Only the ending of all who have failed the swarm will sate his lust for carnage. Among the congregation, the daughters of Crota move to escape. But Bersereth turns to her sisters, asking them to consider the moment. As the four edge beyond Azavath's warpath, they use the chaos to cover their own sins. Drawing daggers from their cloaks, Hasladun, Bersereth, Kinox, and Vosher assassinate those they believe to be a threat to their schemes. Azavath will take the blame, and even if they are found out, there'll be none left to challenge them. As below, a voice calls from the pit. Azavath pauses her massacre. The voice is familiar yet strange, other. Below, Malkanth hovers over the broken bodies that cover the ground. Azavath eyes her remaining victims and then turns to her sister. Malkanth calls again. Brother, I have need of you. Azavath leaves the high red perch while the few remaining of the congregation flee, led by the daughters who feign distress. In the pit, Azavath considers Malkanth with care. The silent death singer is confused, uncertain. Malkanth floats near, a gaping wound scarring her center, and whispers in her sister's ear. Our path is flawed. Your rage is a burden. Let me lift it from you. As Malkanth sings a familiar song in an unfamiliar perch, Azavath's eyes widen with recognition. She tries to speak but cannot, her voice having been shredded in her unmaking. The song continues, and Azavath bleeds from ear and nose and eye and mouth. Her bone cracks and her flesh bubbles until she breaks. Malkanth smiles once more. The deceiver's plan is unfulfilled, but there is victory installed sword logic. Hashadun peers into the pit as the last of the congregation make their escape. Zulmak is defeated, the new champion shattered. There are none to claim the logic's prize. The daughters' plans to return their father to glory is no longer threatened. And, as it was before, it all began. All that remains are failed sword logic and the unknown promise of nightmares. Holy shit. That's crazy, man. What the heck? Yes, Neil, we covered the collector's edition text. Very first thing we did. I'm going to upload this to YouTube. I'm really hoping my first recording didn't corrupt 6 hours of recording. I'm YouTube did some funny stuff with it. I just really, really hoping that it's still there. Right now, it doesn't look like it is, but we'll have to find out soon. I think once I stop this live stream, we'll see. You can see the first 6 hours in your sub box. Oh, thank the Lord. Oh, like the 6.5 hour long one. Can you see that? Oh, fantastic. Okay, so it is there. It's not showing up in my dashboard, so don't know what's happening with it. That's fine though. That's fine. Yes, thank you, chat. I was a bit worried about that. I was a little bit worried about that, to be honest. Yeah, around 6 hours. Yep. Perfect. Okay, good. Okay, this is pretty much the choir. The choir. Azavrath. Akrazul. Malkanth. The Daughters of Crota. And Zolmak. So basically, this whole book is like the Daughters of Crota are really weak and they don't possess the sword logic. My favorite book so far is probably Revelations, I think. I thought the whole anomaly thing is amazing. I really enjoyed that. Like, the potential of that book is insane. Shall we keep going or not? How many books do we have left? We've done Inquisition. We've done The Kraken. We've done Revelation. I've previously done Aspect. We have 2 books left. How big are these books? 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 entries. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. How big are the entries? Yeah, I've done Aspect before. I'm gonna pull that from my previous live stream. And it was in my last video about Praedyth. It's 4 o'clock here. I've got 5 hours to have this done before I need to leave for Melbourne. Could take a couple hours to export. We'll see if we can get... Oh, these are the ghost fragments? If I leave it to 5 o'clock, maybe. I reckon we can do another hour. I think we can do another hour. Guys, I just need to go to the bathroom. I'll be back. Yeah, decide. Letters from Eris. Maybe we'll get through letters from Eris. I think that might be a good one. Okay. I don't know if I've got the mental capacity to keep going. I want to do this. I think I'm out, guys. I've just broken mentally. Oh, we've been going for 7 hours. I think I'm done. I think I'm broken. Not broken. I really enjoyed that stream, but I don't know if I can get through another entire book. But I will be able to release 7 hours of lore reading plus what I did with aspects. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lore books. And we'll have 1, 2... We still have 4 lore books left. We have Letters from Eris, Luna's Lost, the new Truth to Power one, and the one in the collector's edition that was like a secret. It was a really fun stream. Let me just get rid of this music. Every release, this is literally all I do. It usually takes me, it usually takes me 2 days. So that was like 7 hours of like reading and sort of categorizing. I would usually do another day, and then within 2 days I probably would have read all the new lore, and then day 3 I would start sort of making videos. So something I do every time. I want to try to stream a bit more. It's just been hard to find the time to do it. Don't be concerned if the streams go private. My plan is I'll make them private. I'm gonna download them from YouTube and then re-upload them edited. I'm gonna cut out all the lunch breaks and toilet breaks and that kind of stuff. Download it all, put it all together, and then upload it. It'll be like an 8-hour video of what we've done today. Yeah, I'm not too sure about the end cutscene, man. I was hoping I would get some answers in this lore, but I'm not too sure. Cremoy. Don't cut the doge breaks. Lunch was the best part. I cannot comprehend anymore. Oh, you know what we should do? Just to finish, what we'll do is we'll do a we've still already done. I was like going to do another mind map of all the lore, but we've already done one of these. All the lore. Okie doke. Thank you so much for joining. If you're coming to PAX Australia, I will see you in PAX. Feel free to bring your lore books or your anthologies, because you can have Eris Morn sign them, and I'm more than happy to sign the section or the introduction that I wrote. Come say hello to me at Log and Sloth. And we'll see you at PAX. We'll see you at the panel. If you can't make PAX Australia because you live on another continent / country, I'm pretty sure it'll be live streamed. I'm doing a sparrow racing event to help raise money for charity. I'll let you know the details. And I'm also being the panel on Friday, and then we've got the event on Friday night. Okay, no. We'll get the peace in chat. We'll see you next time. I don't have an end screen, so we just have to do this.